TractorZoom is fueling dealership growth through integrated solutions, actionable insights, and empowered business decisions.
Hello, everybody. Ben Thorpe here with Farm Equipment Magazine. Welcome to another episode in our Used Equipment University series. And I'm here today with Kyle at Castonia. Kyle, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yes. So my name is Kyle Jimenez. I am with Castonia Tractor. We're a 5-store John Deere dealership in Northwest Indiana. I am the corporate used equipment manager for Castonia Tractor.
Excellent. So you're the guy to talk to about increasing used turns and the levers to pull. And we're going to kind of dive into some of what you guys are doing over there. So why don't we start with your repricing strategy? What do you do to arrive at that?
So with our repricing, I think we all agree that we saw some repricing up over the last few years, and we were maybe a little short on the game. So and being able to try to take advantage of that, with us now, with obviously things looking a little bit differently. I've actually started to utilize some different platforms like TractorZoom Pro to be able to keep a better handle on the pricing that's going on in the industry. It allows me to automate it a little bit and make it to where I am not tied into a specific calendar per se. We did not want to get locked into pricing combines once a month or pricing planters every other month. We really wanted to take the approach that every piece is different and wanted to make it more across the board, real time.
Sure. Okay. Now, as organizations grow, trade and valuations can become overwhelming as well as repricing. So how do you stay on top of everything and how do you keep your prices current?
So with trade-in evaluations, we are constantly getting evaluations in and really take the approach that we want to get those spun back to the salespeople as quickly as possible. Sometimes within an hour, if need be, we want to make sure that we can get that number right back to the salesperson. Taking repricing into that as well, by automating that process a little bit and not taking that full inventory approach to repricing every day. That's allowed us to be able to divide our time a little better between repricing and evaluations, to make sure that we're being most efficient with our time.
Sure. Okay, so we've already hit on the two, and we know that pricing isn't the only thing that we're taking into consideration here. So what are some of the other levers you pull, as it were, to help move used pieces?
So being with John Deere, we have the ability to use single pool funds to be able to do different interest waivers, interest rates, warranties. So we have the ability to be able to offer some different pieces to be able to help move some used pieces. Sometimes that's advertising, sometimes that's leaving it to the salespeople to be able to offer. But we can structure some different programs around that, and be able to kind of hit those levers to help move some of those used pieces.
Sure. What are the current things that you're offering right now?
So right now we are doing some programming on combines, used combines specifically. We are also, some of our later model row crop tractors, being able to offer some different interest waivers and interest rates depending on what works best for the customer. In this high interest age right now, that is always a topic when we're talking with our customers. So anything that we can do to get that word out there of what's available and what we can do, we try to take advantage of that.
Sure. Is there any particular kind of advertising that you think works best? Is it social media or like e-newsletters to your readers?
It really feels like social has been the big takeoff, to where we can really target in some of those and being able to get that information out there most efficiently. Um, the good old fashioned print and good old fashioned email always seems to work as well. But as far as getting the most reach, it seems like social is really the way to go anymore.
Sure. Okay, absolutely. Now, when we're talking about increasing these used turns, where does wholesale come into the picture? What's your method for wholesaling or exporting your equipment?
So with wholesaling, I think we we're always prepared to wholesale. Any piece that we feel like we can move on from, um, just means that we get to go trade for another one like it down the road. So, um, always willing to talk about wholesale. There are times where pieces hit different age limits, or maybe it's a piece that um, isn't quite a right fit for our area. And those are the pieces that we're going to actively work to wholesale, but always willing to take calls on anything else. As far as exporting, I think that's a that's an interesting market. We've done some, but there is there's still some mystery around dealing outside of the United States. So, um, it's enjoyable to think to be able to do that, and I hope to be able to be, more involved in that exporting going forward. Um, but there's always some uneasiness around it as well. So,
Definitely. Okay. It's something, and we may have touched on this a little already, but when it comes to valuations, what are some of the tools you use to help ensure that you are accurate and that you're moving through the workload as efficiently as possible?
yes, so we prioritize more accuracy over the efficiency. So, even if it takes us a little bit longer, and not quite as efficient, we want to spend that time to make sure that we're more accurate. Um, the typical channels of the Tractor House and Machinery Pete, um, are still valuable assets, and we're kind of keeping a pulse on what is going on. Um, Keeping track of auction results and some dealer listings through Tractor Zoom Pro is a big part of our evaluations. Keeping track of what our neighbors are up to, or other John Deere dealers across the country are pricing at, can be valuable as well. So, really want to take that. We call it more the shotgun approach. Take everything rather than just a few, and be as most accurate as possible.
For sure. Okay. Well, one other thing that I wanted to ask, just kind of looking at this year, and I've been talking to a lot of dealers about the contraction in the used equipment market. So shaping up, this could be kind of an interesting year. For anybody who's watching, who's looking to increase their own used turns, what are some things, and we've gone through some of the things you're doing, what are some of the things you recommend people really lean into over the course of this year?
I believe some targeted marketing is going to be very big for 2024. Whether that be for programs or individual pieces. Um, through social media, we can do a lot with that. Um, there's going to be a big push in making sure that advertisings are made. There's been a lot of dealerships that have maybe held on to some pieces over the last couple of years, and just getting that equipment out there as quickly as possible, from the point that we trade for it, will be a huge lever in 2024.
Well, awesome. Thanks for sitting down and talking with us about increasing used turns. Thank you to Tractor Zoom for helping us put this series together. This has been great. Kyle, thank you so much.
Thank you.